So recently, while scavenging about on woods, I came across the violet keycard. Oh my god. Fuck, we need to get out now. I got a violet keycard. And immediately I wondered, should the average player sell the keycard on the market, or as a guy newly getting into labs, can I actually make my money back? Alright, so a quick disclaimer before today's video. The intention of this test is to answer the question, what should an average player do if they find a violet keycard or if they're thinking about purchasing one? With that in mind, we're looking for the average skilled player, so we're only completing 13 raids. Most people don't have hundreds of millions of rubles to throw at access keycards, and neither did we. In addition to that, we didn't loot the room when it didn't make sense. The violet keycard is located on the far northern part of the map, and so if you spawn on the southern part, it just doesn't make sense to go sprinting across the open in order to hit it. So we acted like any rational looter would, and we looted along the way. If we were able to hit the room, great. If it was too hot, we didn't make it happen. Now, if you're not interested in the why or the how, the bottom line up front is if you find it in raid and you don't already have some labs keycard, such as the blue or the black or the green, go ahead and sell it. You'll get yourself a cool 7 million rubles. Nice, easy score. Now, if you're looking to purchase it, it really only makes sense if you're looking to expand your options on labs. So again, you need to have other labs cards before you think about purchasing the violet, because it's really just not going to give you your money back. So if you buy it as a first card, you're more than likely going to lose money in that investment. Now that we understand the parameters, let's quickly talk about the results. So we completed 13 raids, and out of the 13 raids, we survived 5 times. So that's a 38% survival rate. And I feel that's indicative of an average player, especially on labs for the first time or fairly new to the map. If we take all the loot from those 13 raids and add it together, and then we subtract the total cost of 13 300,000 ruble labs access keycards, we get a total profit of only 351,000, which really isn't that much. Now, I know a lot of folks are genuinely interested in just the profit from the violet room itself. So if we do the same calculations, but instead just take the loot from the violet room, so excluding everything else we found on the map, we're looking at an adjusted value of negative 1.6 million. So we're actually in the hole over 1.5 million rubles if we just loot the violet keycard and exit. Now, obviously that doesn't tell the whole story, because there are several pros and cons to the violet keycard room, which might affect you differently than they affected me and the way I played. So first off, we've got the pros for the violet keycard room. The main and only pro is location, but there are many reasons why that location works for you. Totally wrong. This is exactly where we want to spawn. First off, there's really not that many options if you're looking for high tier loot on that side of the map if you're an average player. Yes, there's the red keycard room, but an average player is not going to have that key. And yes, there's the conference room right next to it, but that's pretty open. Oftentimes there's raiders there, and there's maybe 3 spawns in that area. So the violet keycard room provides you an option when you're on that northern side of the map, when you get that spawn, to quickly hit an area where you know you're going to get some loot. In addition to that, the room connected to the violet keycard room has a lot of great spawns. There's a potential WEDX spawn on the cabinet next to the room. There's also several computers, cash, and ammunition on those tables. As you enter the room connected to the violet keycard room, there's actually racks that have stims, so that helps you complete quests, and you can also make quick money grabbing those. Now, when you're trying to leave the violet room, more importantly, when you're trying to leave the hallway connected to the violet keycard room, you have 2 exits, which is really nice. You have the main exit that goes out the front door, and that is often heavily defended and hard to get out of. And so if you need to escape, you have a side exit out the window. And this helped me several times. By taking a little bit of fall damage, jumping out the window, I was able to ensure that I was going to escape. And if there was a single player trying to hold me in that room, they had to choose a side that they were going to cover. So that second exit really helps your survivability. Now, although the violet keycard room has several pros, it's got a lot of cons that I feel overwhelm those pros and make it so it's arguably not worth your money. The first one, although it may seem kind of silly, it's difficult to pick up items in the corner. Several times while I was looting the violet keycard room, There were items hidden in the corner that I had to get at really weird angles and take extra time to pick up. They were kind of bugged. And although that sounds like a silly complaint, when you're trying to move quickly, especially in a room where you're already not having that much profit, time is of the essence. Most of the loot in the Violet Room is also weapons-related items. Now that in and of itself isn't necessarily a con. However, for the average player, it requires a vast market knowledge that most of us don't have. If you don't know that, a drum mag for an RPK is worth, let's say 50,000 rubles, and then that one angled foregrip for some reason is the meta, and now it's running 100,000 rubles, you can make some really large errors. And another reason that is caused by the weapons parts is because they're often very large. So they take up a ton of space in your inventory. If you're an average player, you're maybe not running with the largest pack anyway, so you can't just grab everything. So that slows you down even more. Now you're spending a lot of time in a room that doesn't necessarily have that much potential for returns. Finally, it's just too expensive. Right now it's running 7 million on the market, which I completely disagree with. So in conclusion, guys, if you find the Violet Keycard in a raid and you make it out, sell it. Unless you have other labs cards, it's just not worth the money. You can pull 7 million from the market and use that to go to labs a number of times, get lucky with a raid like we had on raid 7, and make your money back much faster than you can by actually looting the room. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, go ahead and comment below. Don't forget to subscribe, it helps us out. And if you'd like to see us play live, we're on Twitch, twitch.tv/sharethelight. Hope you guys have a good one. Comment below of what you want to see in future videos, and I'll catch you next time.